So now I'm going to show you how to paint the perfect wash. So it's not something that I'm going to just go right over like this because I have a large area to cover. I'm actually going to take my time to start in the corner and to move the water gently across the paper. Okay? Now I have a little bit of an imaginary line right before my tape because I don't want to have the water go all the way up to the tape because some water will sneak under the tape and then it'll stick there and there'll be a little bit puddle of water that I can't control, and that puddle will pull into the area of my wash and mess up my wash. So I'm just going to create a little imaginary line. You will see that. Okay, so this background is going to be a greeny color because my apple is going to be red, and that's what I chose. So here I go. I've got a lot of water here. Don't know if you can see how much water there is, but there's a lot of water. Tons of water, and all I'm doing is making sure that I'm carrying the water across. So if I do this like this with a lot of water, then I know that it's going to dry at the right consistency. Again, my board is completely flat and there's no bubbles, so I don't have the chance for the water to pull somewhere where I don't want it to pull. It's just flat. Now what it's starting to do here is it's starting to dry right here, which is perfect, but it's still very wet on the edges. So you just kind of take these edges and you expand them. This is a time where you do not take phone calls. You tell people you're doing a wash, don't interrupt me, because you cannot stop at this point. If I have a big wash like a sky or this whole wall, then I just have to be ready to not be interrupted while I'm doing this wash. The whole idea of this wash is just to put a nice light wash as my first step on the paper. Now I suggest when you do your washes to keep stirring it like this because some of the paint will settle to the bottom, and then when you go to put it on your watercolor paper, you will put pigment on there, and again, that could change the color of your wash. I have taught many classes while doing this, and always, or most, I can't say always, but most of the students are scared to use this much water. I come up and I say, more water, more water, more water. You've got to have the concept that you're just carrying the water at the edges. See, this is starting to dry. If I were to go in there right now and touch it with my brush that has more water, I'm going to get one of those flowers that we're talking about. So I cannot go in there at all as there's less water now, and it'll just do a little pulling of the water and I will lose control. So sometimes if you're painting around leaves and there's all kinds of little nooks and crannies, you want to find cheat areas. So you want to find, like, maybe get two leaves touching each other so you can rest there and like do one wash, you know, and then go back and fill in the other part. Just these little barriers that you can create for yourself that gives you a rest period. I don't have any here on this particular painting, and I don't ever have them in sky because there are no rest periods in sky. But if I have a big wall with a nice vine on it, I can paint one side of the vine and the tree goes up like this, and then I can rest and then mix the same color and go on the other side to do the next wash. But again, those are just little cheating points. And what I'm trying to teach you is the perfect smooth wash. Again, I'm just carrying this water. See up there it's drying a little bit. I'm going to go back up here. Make sure I'm just carrying this puddle across the paper. If I see the little darkness there of a lot of water, I know I'm doing the right thing. If you see something happening here and it's not drying correctly, do not go touch it. Just let it be. There will be a video on how to fix mistakes. Don't go into there at all at this point. Let it be, because you will make it worse. Now at this point, I'm crossing my watercolor paper. So you can see I made some little splotches. Luckily it's not. I don't know if you can see them, but there's little watercolor splotches right there. I should be very careful that I don't put a splotch over there because it will make one of those flowers. You can see how many times I dip my brush. I'm bringing water here. It is not me going back and forth of paint like this that creates that smooth wash. It's the gradual carrying of water across the paper. And in doing this in your wash, when you put other layers on top, because there's so much water in your wash, it will not pick up the paint underneath because you're just moving water right across whatever is underneath it, which is what's going to give you the bright colors and not make you pick up like a red that might be underneath or some other color and then kind of make it muddy. That's how you get muddy watercolors. So there is my wash.